Hey guys, it's day 5 of waking up at 5 a.m. So it's currently like 1:37 right now. It's late. I'm only gonna sleep 3 hours. It's only 3 hours till like 5 a.m. So yeah, you might be wondering like why like so late, right? Well, because today at like 3 p.m. I took a nap. I was just gonna be like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna sleep till I wake up. What I didn't know was like I slept until like 9:30 p.m. from 3 o'clock, 6.5 hours nap. Because the previous days I didn't really sleep that much too, so taking this nap was like literally sleeping for like a night basically, but in the afternoon. So I slept for like 6.5 hours. So I just had dinner just now. I cooked like Maggie mee with like 2 eggs, and now it's like 1:30. You know, so yeah, and I was discussing with my dad, on like we're talking about money and all that shit, like how, like specifically it was like me buying this property, and he was saying like, it's okay it's okay to buy it, but are you capable of like paying the installments every single month? So yeah, that was the main thing. That was the main concern, because at the end of the day, it's still my decision to make whether I want to buy or not buy this property. And yeah, it gets complicated, but it's a long story. I'll probably have to explain to you guys in another video, or maybe I'll never. But like, the main point is, if you're not capable of paying the monthly installment every month and it's really stressful, then you probably should not go for it. Like, don't force yourself to get that BMW because you want to look cool, and you can't pay it every single month. Like, it's going to be really hard to pay it every single month. Then don't buy it. Like, why do you want to put yourself in jail? Like that's literally like putting yourself in handcuffs. Like, you don't have the freedom. I value freedom a lot, so I don't want to get into installments that take that freedom away from me. Like, yeah, you look cool in the BMW, but you can't really say like, oh, I don't feel like being in Malaysia anymore. I want to go to another country. I want to stay there. I want to do this. I want to climb Mount Everest tomorrow. You can't say that. Like, yeah, you have the car, but thousands of people that have that car, so it doesn't really matter. I'm okay with my car, man. My Ativa, my Perodua Ativa. That's like the best car ever. I'm gonna stick with that car for at least 10 years, like, or 5 years maybe. Like, until I can get a Tesla, then I'll get a Tesla. And if it has self-driving features, I'll definitely get it, man. I'll get a Tesla. Plus, it's a good price, like under 200k ringgit. I think that's pretty reasonable. So yeah, don't waste your money on things that you don't need. I'm slowly starting to realize that you have to be smart about money. Like, making money is one thing, saving money and keeping it, that's a whole different game. Whole different game. A person can make $1 million ringgit or $1 million, but if they spend $1 million, million ringgit, then did they really make a lot of money? No, they didn't keep a lot of money, so they don't have anything left after, even though they made like 1 million per year or 1 million per month. So it's how you use money, how you spend it, that matters. It matters a lot. But of course, you can't be earning like minimum wage as well, because that wouldn't work. You have to be earning at least, a decent income, and that's when like keeping your money actually plays a big role. So it's two different things: making money, keeping money, two completely different things. So that's what I'm starting to learn. And I think my dad he's really good at keeping money. He's really good at saying no to things that he doesn't need. Like, he wouldn't just buy random things for no reason. Like me, I look, because I guess I am kind of young. I would want to take more risks. Like the worst thing I can lose is money. That if the worst thing that I can lose is money, then I might just take that risk. If I see the upside is like, oh, it might actually make me 1 million a year, and I'm only paying like, let's say 1,000 for this, then I might go for it. I'm like, okay, fine. The worst case scenario is I lose this 1,000 ringgit, but the best case scenario is I make 1 million ringgit. Isn't that better? Like, that's you gotta do a risk analysis. Like, okay, the worst case scenario, this happens. Best case scenario, this happens. And if you're okay with the worst case scenario, then go for it. Like, if like the worst case scenario doesn't even hit you, doesn't even make you feel anything, then yeah, maybe you can go for it. So you always gotta think about the worst case scenario and the best case scenario in every situation. In the big decisions, like buying a property, or maybe marrying someone, getting into a marriage, or going back to school. Like, you really have to think through like these risks, and you gotta make decisions. You have to be good at making decisions. That's really important thing. Yeah, so basically my dad and I were like having a conversation about that. Something like that. You have to learn to say no. Be brave to say no. That's a really important skill. It sounds easy to do, but when you're actually there, like, it's not that easy. You have to actually consciously tell yourself. You have to tell yourself. You might have some people like don't like you. Cool, bro. Cool. Listen, bro. There are gonna be people that like me and dislike me in this world. I'm gonna focus on the ones that like me more. I'm not here to impress everyone, because I know that's impossible. You can't impress everyone. But I impress the ones that are actually, they actually have an interest in me. They actually like think that I'm a cool person. I'll focus on them instead of people that like don't think that. It's cool, man. There's 8 billion people in the world, so I don't need everybody to like me. And yeah, and today, I met two guys. I actually met him on the first or second day of orientation. I was like asking him some questions. So when I was going to class today, I met him again. He was with his friend Aiden. His name is Kai. But yeah, they was like damn cool, man. They're like 3 years younger than me, but they're like really, really funny guys. Like we immediately clicked it off, like like I just met them today, and I just like knew them today. Then we like it feels like we've known each other for a year or something for some reason. Like they asked me like, hey, do you want to join our class? Like they were having a class of their own, and then I went into their class just to see like what the class was like. They were doing like presentations about movies, because the subject was like filmmaking and analysis. I don't know what was it, most of the correct one, but basically about movies. So they would actually watch movies and then do an analysis about the movies. And I was there, just I was just chilling there, just seeing like the presentation. And the teacher was cool too. They didn't really bother me. As long as I didn't bother anyone else, then it was cool. And yeah, because in college, like the teachers, they don't really care that much. In high school, I bet they would probably mind, but in college, teachers don't care anymore. You want to skip class, do it. I mean, if your attendance rate is below 80%, then you can't take the exam. They don't care. They don't care, man. You have to care. You have to actually take initiative and do something about it. So that's what's good about college. And yeah, I went back to college for the experience, and I must say I'm not disappointed. I was not disappointed. I haven't regretted my decision yet to go back to school. But it is, I guess I am kind of privileged too, because I have the support from my parents, and they kind of want me to go through college too if I have the opportunity. And I know that not everyone has that opportunity to go back to I just want to go back to college, and I know a lot of people don't have that. So yeah, that's why I gotta appreciate it more, and yeah, thank my parents more, and enjoy the experience as much as I can, and not take it for granted. So yeah, that's important, because we all are born. People say like, oh, we're all equal, but I disagree. Because not everybody was born into the same financial situation. Not everybody was born with the same, the same things that were taught to them. Like my dad always teaches me like to say no to stuff, to save your money, to wait for an opportunity, and then only you strike. But not every single household is like that in Malaysia. Not everybody has that opportunity. So yeah, I recognize my privileges, and I'm grateful for them. And yeah, I mean that's all I can do basically. Just be as super grateful and not, I guess, rub it into people's faces, and just be humble about it. Be humble and know your privileges. And even if I become a billionaire, I'll definitely credit like where I came from, because I didn't really come from a poor family. Like a poor person, like, or let's say a different country like Bangladesh, like where it's I guess a third world country. Like most Bangladesh people come to Malaysia because it's better than their situation, and Malaysians go to Australia because it's better than our situation. So they look at us like we're from Australia, like how we look at Australia. Like they look at Malaysia like how Malaysians look at Australia, basically. And yeah, like a Bangladesh person born out of poverty, and he earns a million, and he makes $1 million dollars or whatever. That's better than someone that's born into wealth and making $1 billion, because they have the base. Because they didn't have a base, like they're born out of poverty, out of nothing. To make even like 100K for them is like crazy. It's like a different level. It's like different levels, because we don't start at the same. We don't have the start line. Not everybody has the same start line. We all start at different places. So yeah, when you see someone making $1 million a month or a year, don't compare yourself to them, because you don't know their story. You don't know where they came from. You don't know what maybe their family helped them out. You don't know. You just know they're rich, but you don't know how that money came from, how that money come. So yeah, you gotta keep that in mind, and don't compare yourself to people, because we're all kind of different in some ways. In a lot of ways, we're different. We're the same species, but not everybody was born the same way. So you gotta keep that in mind, I guess. And yeah, so I recognize my privileges, and I'm extremely grateful, and I'm extremely humbled by it. So yeah, it's my responsibility, I guess, to be humble and be grateful. And yeah, so yeah, I'm back to college, just enjoying every single moment while I still can. And I think that's about it. What else? I met 2 people, Oh yeah, this is funny thing too. Like one of my friends that I used to go to college with in 2022. We used to do track and field together. Her little sister was in the class. Like she was in the same class. Her sister was in the same class as me. So that was cool too. And that's like small world. Like damn, like I know you from here, but your sister studies in the same class as me. Like that's kind of cool, I guess. And then the lecturers were pretty decent. I met 2 new lecturers today. So far, so good. No problems yet. But yeah, I can't wait. I'm quite excited when class truly starts next week Monday. And yeah, I can't wait. I can't fucking wait. Other than that, it was a fun day at school today. Today was a good day. Very productive day, even though I slept 6.5 hours. Productive day because I woke up at 5 a.m. and I only woke for like 2-3 hours. Like the period when 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. that's the golden period though. 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. even. That's the best period of work. That's when you get the most shit done. That's when you can be the most productive. I guarantee you. Try it. Wake up at 5 a.m. now. Like, just try it. You'll get so much more done. Because it's quiet. It's quiet at 5 a.m. No one's going to disturb you. No one's going to message you at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. They're probably going to wake up at 8 and message you. And you won't get any notifications. So you can just focus on your work. That's the best time. Like even if you say like 11 p.m. to 12 a.m., there's still people messaging me. But I know for a fact that 5 to 8, 5 to 9 a.m., no one's going to message me. Like, very few people are going to message me. So yeah, that's something for you to know. If you're planning to wake up at 5 a.m., just know that 5 to 9 a.m., you're going to have like a period of time where you can get so much done. and that's leverage, so I can sleep from like 3 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. and I can get to the end of the day and be like, well, I still think it's a productive day. But I guess the minus point is like I only get 3 hours of sleep. So, but I get 3 hours of sleep. I feel good. I feel like I'm not really tired for some reason. Maybe I'm like turning 22 already, so I guess I don't really need as much sleep as I did when I was younger. So that's something to take into account. But you guys really have to know yourself. You guys have to know yourself as a person. That's the most important thing. Do some study on yourself. As a Chinese proverb, they said, 知彼知己，百战百胜. That means if you know your enemy and you know yourself, you need not fear the outcome of 100 battles. Because you know yourself. And I'm still trying to learn to know myself, to know who I am as a human being, to know my strengths, my weaknesses, And I feel like school doesn't really teach you that. Nobody really teaches you that. So you gotta learn yourself. You gotta do some self-learning and learn that. And your enemy, whatever, maybe it's your goal, you want to achieve a goal, you gotta know like what is your goal? Why do you want to achieve it? What do you have to do? You have to understand your goal. You have to understand your enemy in order to tackle it. Let's say I want to get a 4.0 GPA for this course, FIA. What do I need to do? Now the enemy is the exams. The enemy is like the coursework, the 50% coursework I have to get full marks in. So what stands in the way in that? Oh, it's group assignments, or maybe it's quizzes, or whatever. Okay, quizzes. All right. What do I have to do to get 10 marks for quizzes for the full mark? Well, I probably have to listen in class. That's the most obvious thing, and not miss class. And after the class, I have to revise on what I've learned immediately, and not wait till like the 1 week before the exam and cram everything. Like I would want to be consistent, so that whenever a pop quiz comes out, I'll be like, oh, I'll be ready, because I've always revised all my classes after class. So it's fresh in my head. So that's how you tackle it. And I know that, I'm a person that isn't really good at cramming. When I cram for exams, the results aren't really good. So, I just revise after class. Because for some people, they're good at cramming things. They're good at 1 week, 2 weeks before an exam, they study and then they still score really good marks. But I know I'm not that type of person. So you gotta know yourself. You gotta understand what type of person are you. Maybe just waking up at 5 a.m. thing, maybe it's not for you. Maybe you're more like doing things till 3 a.m. and waking up at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. You wake up later. I've tried that before. It doesn't work for me. But you gotta understand that everyone's different. Everyone has a different opinion. Everyone has a different way of achieving what they want. So you gotta find your way. And to find your way, you have to study yourself, and you have to study your enemy, which is your goal. You have to study whatever it is that you want to achieve. And if you know both, if you know yourself and you know your goal, you need not fear the outcome of 100 goals that you have. So, yeah. Know yourself, know your goal, and you achieve it. It's that simple, but hard to apply. So, yeah, that's all I have for today. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.